Welcome mateys to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel as always. Got a lot of questions here via formspring.me/Aaron Rift. Got the cat in the background making her usual cameo, so let's get right down to business here. First question today comes from Brock and Punk 91. Hey Aaron, what type of match do you want to see at Battleground between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton for the WWE title? Mine would be a last man standing match. Please answer in video. There's actually a rumor going around right now that Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton will be an Iron Man match. Nothing at this point is confirmed, and it could really go in any different direction. I don't know if I want to see a last man standing match just because we've seen so many of them. An Iron Man match hasn't been done a whole lot as of late, so I actually think that that would be a really good idea for the Battleground pay-per-view. And let's face it, you really don't have a whole lot else on the pay-per-view card at this point, and you only have 2 weeks now to build up the pay-per-view. So I would like to see the Iron Man match. I think that you could do another controversial finish there, maybe have it end in a draw, and that would set up for the Hell in a Cell match, the final match of the feud. I think that that would be the best way to go, but, it's possible they might do a last man standing match. It's possible they might not have any stipulation period, which I think would be stupid. And I think for Battleground, you really need to up the ante and have a stipulation. Hopefully it's not something dumb like Triple H being the special guest referee. I think that that would be lame. And I wouldn't be a big fan of that. But definitely an Iron Man match would be really cool. So hopefully those rumors are in fact true. Alright, this one comes from Mike Tyler 86. Hey Aaron, just read that Bryan vs. Orton has been booked for Battleground. I have had no problem with these two facing off again. I'd prefer to see the title decided in a tournament format similar to Survivor Series 98. Do you think WWE could make that work? I would actually like to see a tournament to decide a new WWE champion. It hasn't been done in a very long time. I'm not sure if it's been done since Survivor Series 90. I mean, they've had tournaments, they've had the King of the Ring, but I don't know if they've actually had a one-night tournament to crown a new champion. So, I mean, it's something that hasn't been done in a very long time. Will it happen? I'm thinking it's unlikely at this point. For whatever reason, WWE doesn't like to do tournaments. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if Vince feels that tournaments are too old-school wrestling. I really don't know, but I would be a huge fan of a tournament, doing a one-night tournament where the winner has to compete 4 times in one night, and that really puts him over as the top guy and makes the title more credible. So I would like to see it, but right now there's nothing out there to suggest that that's going to happen, and I just think that the odds are against there being a tournament to crown a new champion, but it would be very cool if it did happen. Alright, this one comes from RockyFan98. Answer in the next video. Where do you think Ken Anderson will turn face and become world champion again? Or will he be stuck with aces and eights? Well, if Ken Anderson in fact ends up back in TNA, which is what I would be predicting at this point, I think in all likelihood he will be back with TNA. I think it's obvious to make him a top babyface with the way that he was put out by Bully Ray, and you can bring him back, have those two feud. The worst thing you could do was have that awesome angle on Impact last week and then have Ken Anderson just come back and as a so-called swerve, he joins up with Bully Ray and reunites with him in Aces and Eights. That would be really stupid. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I mean, you have the opportunity to let Mr. Anderson come back and be the old babyface character. I think that that's the best way to go. And yeah, you could definitely put him in a main event program with Bully Ray and maybe even have him go for the TNA World title at some point. Alright, this one comes from Sting HBK 316. Did they really need Zack Ryder and Justin Gabriel out there at the end of Raw? It's just like having Coco Beware and Gobbledygooker involved with Hogan and Warrior. Well, I actually think that that was the right way to go because you don't want to have guys like CM Punk running out with the rest of the roster because then he's just another guy. So if you're going to have a whole group of guys come out, you might as well have some of the mid and lower card guys. And plus, the the storyline here is that Triple H is going to punish these guys. So, Zack Ryder and Justin Gabriel are the usual punching bags as it is. So, Triple H can have them get embarrassed and destroyed by guys like The Shield. And you don't want to have CM Punk in that position where he's getting punished and made to look like a fool. So, if you're going to do that, do it with the guys that are at the bottom of the totem pole, like Zack Ryder and Justin Gabriel. All right, this one comes from Hut Cool. With Daniel Bryan being screwed out of the WWE title twice after 2 straight pay-per-views, giving him 2 extremely short title reigns, do you feel that this is spoiling the integrity of the WWE Championship? I'm okay with what WWE is doing right now, where they had Daniel Bryan with the short title reign at SummerSlam and then Orton cashed it in. That was fine. That is something that usually happens once a year, where there's a short title reign and somebody uses the Money in the Bank. And then what they did at Night of Champions, I'm okay with that. If they start making a regular habit of this, where the titles are changing hands all the time and the title reigns are really short, that would definitely be a negative. I mean, they were doing so well with CM Punk. He had the longest reign in 25 years, and John Cena had a decent length of a reign. I think whoever wins the title next should definitely keep it until WrestleMania. So whether it's Randy Orton or Daniel Bryan, if Orton wins at the pay-per-view Battleground and then Bryan wins it at Hell in a Cell and then Bryan keeps it until WrestleMania, that's okay. But anything beyond that, I definitely think would be a mistake and would erase all the hard work that was done to get the title over, with CM Punk's reign. So yeah, don't have too many title reigns and make them longer than one day, hopefully. All right, this one comes from Dave451985. I just noticed on WWE's YouTube they posted several Sting matches. Is this a clue to him coming to WWE anytime soon? Well, I think of all the periods in recent WWE history, I think that now is the most likely time that Sting might actually do something with WWE, and here's why. It's no secret TNA is having financial issues, and they're making cutbacks. Sting's contract is up pretty soon. I think WWE would still love to have him at WrestleMania 30 this year, and I don't know if that poll from Night of Champions means anything. I don't know if WWE is going to take notice of that. But, I think that if the money was right and there was the right match for WrestleMania, I think Sting would definitely be open to doing something with WWE. And I really think he should. I think he should, he's 55, somewhere around 55 now. He doesn't have that much left. Why not? Go out on a high note, do the one thing you haven't done in the wrestling business, and that's work for WWE and do a match at WrestleMania and go into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 30. I think the timing is perfect for it to happen. Will it happen? It remains to be seen. In all the years we've speculated that he was going to come to WWE, it didn't happen. So who knows if it's going to be a reality, but I'm hoping it is. As a wrestling fan, I would love to see Sting end his career in WWE. All right, last question today comes from PThack56. Hey, I love the show, longtime viewer, first time asker. What do you think of Y2J versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and do you think Y2J can end the streak? With all due respect to Chris Jericho, I don't think it would be a very good idea to put him in a match with Undertaker at WrestleMania. Chris Jericho is a guy who's a huge superstar, no question. But he's been doing a lot of jobs as of late, and you want to put somebody in there with Undertaker who is a real credible threat. And I don't know if with Jericho's recent track record, if people will be able to take him seriously enough against Undertaker. Would the match be great? Yes, absolutely. But I think you want to put Undertaker in there with somebody who's a monster, either Brock Lesnar or John Cena, or somebody who has the star power like Sting, who hasn't wrestled in WWE. So I think really Jericho is way down on the list of potential opponents for Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. I mean, in my opinion, it should be either Lesnar, Cena, or Sting if they can get him. And then, Jericho would be there as maybe a last resort. But, there's definitely other guys that you can have in there with Undertaker that I think the fans would buy into the idea that that person could end the streak. All right, that'll wrap things up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Share this video with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. And I will see you guys next time for more No DQ&A video.